Hello viewers, well, I'm back. It's James Com, half-assed reporter, the guy on the bike, and we are on Forsyth Street. We're going to try to pop into the Hionas Gallery to see an exhibition by Robert Goldman, Esquire, also known as Bobby G. Well, we'll start a little walk through here and a little explanation. This is titled Get Bruder. Robert Goldman, better known as Bobby G, is a long-time presence on the East Village, Lower East Side, and he was part of Collab, which was a major collaborative group back in the late 70s, early 80s. This is type of distinguished visitor. Now, all of these pieces, I think they are 24 by 36 inch panels, and some of these they've joined them together. And then he's painted these little, I guess what I would call gestural portraits on them. And well, I was having a discussion on Sunday with the painter named Gary Peterson. We were talking about formalism, and one of the great or interesting aspects of this work, particularly these joint panels, is that this relates to a lot of high formalism, and I'm thinking of people like Robert Mangold and maybe even Bryce Martin, Richard Hionas. Take a look at the smaller pieces, the individual pieces. Now the other thing is that Bobby has been using this silver metallic paint for as long as I've been aware of the work, so this goes back to the late 70s. And it's kind of funny, interesting, ironic that I talked to him about this probably 6 or 7 years ago at a show that Walter Robinson curated that was at Haunch of Venice, and I think it was titled something like Claxton's. And Bobby was talking about how he was influenced by Jackson Pollock and Pollock's use of silver paint. It's called Miho, which is short for Middle of Houston. The other thing I was thinking is, as I came in, I saw a lot of some of the old downtown crowd, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of these portraits are some of his old friends, maybe Robin Winters and Walter Robinson, Keithy Smiths. These artists were all part of Collab. To use a term I don't like, back in the day. It's titled South Wall Years. I think the other thing I like is it's kind of very confident use of primary colors. And it does put these gestural portraits in a different aesthetic plane away from the formalism. And this could relate to the work of a very hot painter, Joe Bradley. It's called The Report. This is the most painterly one, maybe. It looks like you got a little carried away with the application there. There is a beautiful matte surface on these acrylic panels. Oh, gee, there's a Gracie Mansion. This is an old painting from when?
February 1983. These are the
February 1983.
first of the homies on Lower East Side with the illuminated silver lines, making a metaphor for some kind of a digitized electronic form that could be directly inserted into the cultural.
And is this oil paint? The color part?
Oil and silver radiator paint.
Radiator paint. Okay, Bobby G, congratulations on the show.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to see you here.
I got a few questions for you. I didn't know you were a California boy.
I was born in LA. So was my father.
I can tell. You've got kind of an LA disposition.
I have the chill-out California drawl.
I was going to say you're not sort of the nervous and twitchy kind of people that would have grown up on the Lower East Side, but that came later. You're a part of Collab, a big part of Collab, back in the late 70s?
I wasn't there when Collab first formed. I got involved with Collab by participating in the infamous real estate show.
Yes, the real estate show. Well, that was pretty early.
That was the first show of the 1980s. It opened on January the 1st, 1980, and it was prescient considering what's happened to this city since.
Yes, if you go back and look at the building, or the place where the building that the original real estate show was, I think they're throwing up some kind of a 30-story luxury co-op tower there or something.
The 30-story luxury co-op tower is going up at the site of this mural. Look at that burned out second floor here.
I see that. And you snuck in there. Did you paint that at night?
No, I painted
on the
it
down
during
low.
the day.
They didn't even stop you.
Look at the scale. See, there's a friend of mine standing there. This is the biggest painting I ever made. It's 50 feet wide.
Wow. Anyway,
but that's like on the site of this Essex Crossing gigantic real estate development.
I know. I go by there on my bike every night. Were you also in the Times Square show?
I was, yeah.
Okay, I contributed a little bit to that myself. I was in town maybe 6 months. How do you think being a show like that or being associated with an artist group like that has changed your career or made your part in the art community more vital or something? Do you think it's important for young artists?
To a fork in the road?
Yeah, well, I know. Yogi Berra, that's one of my favorite lines. But would you say that it was important for you to kind of get involved in a group like that with other artists? And
the real estate show and the Times Square show were essential to how my career developed. Yes, very much so.
And you've always been kind of a member of the East Village, Lower East Side art community and supporting other artists and going out and causing trouble with them? getting drunk, or well, having a drink with them?
I did cause a lot of trouble, but I'll tell you honestly, I thought I came a little bit before the East Village art scene.
Yes, but that means you were mature when it all started to happen, so you didn't get too crazy with all the kind of overinflated egotism that sort of happened there. You know, the other thing I was reading is that you spent 4 years in Germany?
I did, yes.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Ein
bisschen.
Actually, those 4 years have an influence on the work that's in this show.
Really?
Did you look at the show?
No, I didn't look at the show. I just came here to see you, Bobby. Yes, I said.
There's one of the pieces in the show has a German title. It's called Gebruder.
Gebruder. Means something with brothers.
Yeah, brothers. And my landlord, when I was living in Germany, was a Gebruder Pefken. It was the brewer from Cologne. He made the best Kolsch beer in Cologne.
Really?
Pefken. Hi, Charlie.
Charlie Ahern. He's doing his interview here. Well, the other thing I just briefly...
I hope you edit this thing to make me look good.
We were talking also earlier about the silver paint, and we talked about how you were kind of influenced by Jackson Pollock and people like that. You know, and his use of metallic paint and the kind of the gestural, drippy things. Would you say that somehow that's, you know, people are looking at more gestural, kind of painterly things these days?
If one wants to read that into it,
you're not going to deny it. Okay.
You know, the silver paint is something that it's part of the New York School painting.
The New York School.
You know what I was thinking about really when I was making these paintings? Barnett Newman and Andy Warhol. To me, this was as important or more so for our culture to know about than a soup can was in 1982 or 62.
Well, I believe that.
That a soup can was in 1962.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned Barnett Newman, because I was saying that I thought, especially the way that you put the single-colored panels together, that there is a kind of an underlying formalism in there, and Barnett Newman, I think, would be a great example of high formalism. Anyway, Bobby.
I think you have a good eye.
Well, I've had a lot of practice, and it's nice to see you getting a show. Congratulations. Does the show have a title?
The title is Robert Goldman, a.k.a. Bobby G.
Okay, Bobby G. Thank you. And as we always say at the end, thank you, Kate. Thanks, Dustin. Thank you.